Hey, if you're thinking about moving to Oklahoma City and you keep hearing about more Oklahoma, and maybe you're not quite sure where it's at, if it's the right fit for you and your family, well, this video is for you. Today I'm taking you on a little bit of a maps tour. We're going to dive right into my computer here so you can get a good feel for the land of Moore, Oklahoma, what the major highways are that run through it, nearby cities, where all the amenities are, and if it's the right fit for you. I'm Katie Kuriakos, your local realtor here in the Oklahoma City area, and I help families relocate here every single week. Now, I get a lot of questions about Moore and how it compares to other suburbs like Yukon and Norman, so I'm here to talk all about it today. So let's go ahead and dive right into my computer and take a little bit of what that looks like. And right before I dive into my computer, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about all of what's coming to Oklahoma City, relocation tips, and neighborhood tours. All right, so let's actually pull up the Google Maps here. I want to show you a little bit about where Moore sits in relation to the rest of Oklahoma City. So here we got a pretty good map of the whole entire Oklahoma City metro. As we can see, Moore sits on the south side of Oklahoma City, right down here. I can actually just kind of go like this and show you a little bit about where that sits. Yep, sits right there on the south side. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Yeah, so this is our entire Oklahoma City metro. We have Edmond, Arcadia, Piedmont up here on the top, Norman at the very bottom here. Now, Moore sits right in between, smack dab in between Norman and Oklahoma City. So our downtown is like right about here. So when it comes to location wise, a lot of people are like, is it convenient? Is it easy access to all the things? Those are really common questions I get all the time. Interstate 35 actually cuts down right through Moore and goes all the way, up to Kansas, down to Texas. But it cuts straight through Oklahoma City and directly through Moore, making it pretty easy access, especially if you are one that works on the south side of the city. It's probably going to take you, I would say, roughly about 15 minutes to get from Moore to Norman, and then also about 15 minutes to get to Moore to downtown if you were to work there as well. So pretty easy commute time. Now, I would say this stretch right about here from Moore to downtown does get pretty congested if you're working like a regular 8 to 5 job where you're hitting rush hour traffic. It is pretty congested. Now, even with saying that, it's still not going to take you all that long to get to where you need to go during rush hour. It might slow you down to where it maybe takes 20 minutes to get to work. It's really not that terribly bad. There's just kind of that one stretch right here that can get pretty congested. So that's just something to keep in mind for sure. Now, I will say commutes are just still really not all that bad. Now, so for some other things that are maybe close by to Moore, let's zoom in just a little bit closer here. So we do have Tinker Air Force Base. It sits out in the Midwest City, Del City area. So maybe you're coming to Oklahoma City working there and don't want to live on base, or maybe you're a civilian working on base there too. I can actually type that right in. I have a feeling it's only about 15 minutes away. Let's see if I'm right. Directions from Moore. Yeah, so 18 minutes there. And I mean, that's taking you from some random spot in Moore, but it's really not all that far either. Now, this stretch of highway here, that's your Interstate 35. So that's interstate traffic. This right here is your stretch is actually Interstate 240. So both of those roads are interstate, moving pretty quickly, and then you just have a small dip of city street there. So not bad at all. Now, one thing I will say, 240 runs smack dab through South Oklahoma City here. Traffic is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Traffic is a little dangerous on 240. We have I-40 that runs up through downtown, and then we have 240 that runs a small stretch east to west through South Oklahoma City. Now, you really have to be on your game when you're on 240. I don't know the exact statistics on it, but I have read so many times that there's a lot of studies and stuff that show that this stretch of interstate is relatively dangerous compared to a lot of other ones, just because it does have more accidents. They're doing all their numbers and all that, and they say there is actually a really high amount of accidents that happen on that stretch. One thing I will say about that stretch is that the exit and the on-ramps are very small. You have a very short merge area, and I think that's where a lot of these accidents are coming from, and traffic is moving very quickly. So that is something to keep in mind. Just be on your game when you're on 240. Okay, now if we zoom back out just a little bit here, something else to keep in mind is that the airport sits right on the southwest side of Oklahoma City and is a very, very easy commute from Moore as well. Even if you're over here on, say, the east side of Moore, to get over here to that airport, I mean, you're looking at maybe 15 minutes, which is really, really great. Very easy commute. You're probably gonna go up 35, over 240, and right here is gonna be where you're gonna hit that airport. Very, very easy commute. Now let's talk a little bit about maybe where Moore isn't the most convenient to. While it does sit on a major highway within the Oklahoma City area, if you are coming from out of state and maybe you're looking to work in, say, the Piedmont, the Deer Creek, the Edmond area, those are gonna sit up on the far, far north side of our metro area up here. Now, getting from Moore all the way up to, say, Piedmont every day would be kind of a struggle. They are on opposite ends of the city, and even up to Edmond, which is a little bit more centralized, you can go up 35, up 77 to get there. But if you're looking for a commute that's, say, maybe under 30 minutes, you're probably not gonna find that if you're working up on the north side. Might be better to also live up on the north side as well. So let's talk a little bit about amenities of Moore and where all that sits. Where can I go shopping? Where can I go to restaurants? All of that sort of thing. Now with Interstate 35 running through that city, that is primarily where you're gonna find a lot of the amenities. They're gonna be like running right along here, along I-35. That's where we're seeing a lot of it. You can drive down I-35 and on both sides, that's where you're gonna find all of your commercial stuff. There's gonna be your Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, Costco, all of those things are sitting right along that highway there. That's where you're gonna find all of kind of like your strip malls, a lot of restaurants, that sort of thing, which is very convenient for a lot of people, especially down here right along Southeast 19th Street, like right around in here. This is where you're gonna find a ton of shopping. There's Target, there's Walmart, there's stores fronts, there's restaurants, there's whatever you can imagine. A lot of that sits right along in there. Now when it comes to neighborhoods, they're a little bit more farther out. We have a lot of very like established neighborhoods and more. Yes, we'll talk about new construction. You can find that, but especially like right along on this west side here, you're gonna find a lot of really established neighborhoods. Homes that were built in the 90s, early 2000s, some even older than that. Now when we get a little bit farther out, kind of over in this area here, and even over here on the east side, that's where you're going to find some more new construction homes. So you can get a little bit of mix of both, whatever, depending on what you're looking for, but more you're going to see a lot more of an established community. It is a suburb that is not brand new. It's been here for quite some time, and with that you'll find some older homes. Now let's talk a little bit about the schools as well. I'm actually going to pull up a map here of Moore public schools. So with Moore being an older established neighborhood, of course the population of the schools is high, right? It's not a brand new area. So with that, we actually have three main public high schools. We have Moore High School, West Moore, and South Moore. So this is a good map of what Moore looks like as far as our public school system goes. This does not include any sort of private schools. So right up along here on the top, we have I-240, and this is where we have I-35 cutting right through it. Okay, so when we look at this map, all these like little red dots here, those are our elementary schools. And then the blue dots, I believe, are our junior highs. And then the purples are our high schools. So like I said, we have Moore High, West Moore, and South Moore. This is our Moore High School right here, our West Moore, and our South Moore. So this kind of shows a good visual too of, you can see city streets here and like neighborhood streets. So just depending on where your home would land, that's which high school you would fall into. But as you can see, they're pretty spread out. So there's a good chance that the high school is not going to be far from where you live. So the real question is, like, who does Moore work best for? What kind of person or family fits really well there? I would say that Moore really sits well with people that are looking for easy commute times and easy access to major highways. just with its location and where it sits, as far as where it sits in the city, you're gonna get really, really good commute times. Also, I would say anybody who is looking for maybe a little bit more house for their money. Like I said, Moore has a lot of older established homes. There is quite a few, not all, but you can find quite a few variety. Like if you're needing a smaller home, Moore probably has that. They have bigger homes too, but you might be able to find maybe an older, slightly smaller home. So if you're on a budget, that might be a good option as well. And also I'd say someone who's looking for maybe more suburban, but really close to the city amenities. Like I said, downtown Oklahoma City may only be 15 minutes away. So you get very easy access to all of the hustle and bustle of that, but get to kind of drive just a bit to find that suburban lifestyle. So that's a high-level Google Maps tour of Moore, Oklahoma, and I hope it was helpful to give you a little bit more sense of whether or not that fits your family or not. Now, if you've been thinking about moving to the Oklahoma City area and you've been trying to run through all the suburbs, figuring out which one is the best one for you, and maybe you're trying to compare it to others like Norman or Yukon or Edmond, give me a shout. I'm always going through suburbs with people relocating here, giving them a little bit more feel for the land and see which one really fits best with their lifestyle and their family. My contact information is in the description below. I'd love to help you compare options. I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move here. So if that sounds like you, reach out so we can make your move to Oklahoma City as seamless as possible. And if you're thinking about moving to the Oklahoma City area or any of the suburbs, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know when I drop a new video on map tours, neighborhood breakdowns, and updates in the Oklahoma City market to make you more confident in your move to Oklahoma City.